All right, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? Doing okay? You got your emails open? I was hoping that you get the email before class, but it's okay because I sent it like an hour ago. This is my good friend Steve Halliwell, and we go to church together at Calvary Chapel. And last Sunday, we were talking about some of the businesses, and I'm like, hey, you want to come in and talk to my teen entrepreneur class? He said, sure. I said, maybe this Friday. And things just got so crazy busy. I got a text I got your Facebook message at 5:15 this morning, because you sent it last night, but I got it at 5:15, and I'm like, Steve's coming in today. Steve, let's do it ne's week. But Steve's he's a teacher, so he's off today because of the convention. So next week he's not off. So I'm like, let's make it happen today. So Steve is a gifted and multi-talented individual. And while he's still in the infancy stages of his online businesses, I consider him to be very blessed and successful in another area in his life. So besides being an entrepreneur, Steve is a singer and songwriter who has written over 500 Christian worship songs. Is that about right? 500?
Probably around 700 at this point.
Around 700. No, that's okay. I believe they're on iTunes because I've bought his album. I'm sure they're in other places. But he's also performed them at church during worship, and I've been extremely blessed by those performances. I don't want to call them performances, but during those times of worship, his songs have blessed many, many people. And we'll see what happens with his songs in terms of maybe generating some income. I'm not sure where that is, but that's okay. That's not what it's about at this point.
It's very small.
What's that? It's very small. I'm in the same boat. So I only learned recently that Steve was engaging in internet marketing and has been for a few years, and I'd love to hear more about your adventures. I know you've had quite a journey, and I'd like to hear about how you got started in internet marketing. So while I just stole most of your thunder, is there anything else that just you can tell us about yourself? Like, who are you?
So, I mean, I went to this school kindergarten through 12th grade. So I was what they call a lifer, I guess. And so I'm very well acquainted with the school and a lot of the teachers. Went to Ramapo College, which was local, and went for English literature, and I'm not doing anything with that. So, what you plan on going to college for, it's not always what you end up doing, and that's okay, because whatever you do, whatever you learn, you can take that experience into the next phase of your life.
Totally.
So just because, hey, I'm not an English teacher right now, I still use those skills in pretty much every area of my life, and with my own kids too.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm the same way. Where I graduated with a family and child services degree and minored in music, and I'm doing a lot of things that have nothing to do with family and child services, and a lot of things, obviously I teach music here, but I'm doing a lot of things that have nothing to do with music at all, being entrepreneurship being one of them. But what was it about, so you're an internet marketer, digital marketer, like what was it that got you initially interested in internet marketing and digital marketing?
So I work, right now I work with, in special education as an assistant. And the original reason behind wanting to do something was just to add some extra income to my family. But to do it in a way, because I wanted to make sure that I could be around for my wife, for my kids. And there are sometimes people who work second jobs and they have to do it and they're out of the house. And it was always very important to me saying, I don't want to just be there present physically for my kids, be in the room. I want to be there in every aspect of their lives. And so being able to do work from my home allowed me to be able to help out when we had kids. And I have 3 kids now, and there have been medical issues surrounding all 3 of them as far as my wife is concerned. So being able to be at home while also working was a blessing, because I was able to kind of help our family through a lot of tough situations.
And what was that? What did you do when you worked from home?
So I've done songwriting, and just a piece about that.
Yeah.
That was never the plan. I have no musical talent. I have no, growing up, I had no inkling, hey, you know what, I think, someday I'm going to try to write some music. I was always interested in writing, mostly it had been poetry or short stories, but something that you guys may find out is sometime God may just say, you know what, you may not be thinking this, but I am. And it kind of just came out of nowhere, and I started out writing 3-4 songs a day, and almost every day in the beginning.
Wow.
And a lot of them were terrible, because that's what happens when you first start out. God may be calling you to do something, but he also wants you to work at it. He also wants you to get better. Not everyone is Paul, where you're on the Damascus Road and he grabs you and then all of a sudden, yes, let's go out on the mission field.
Right. And I think that's everything that we do in life. It's a journey. It's not like all of a sudden you're good at something.
Mm-hmm.
Being a songwriter myself and a sax player, it wasn't like I woke up and here I'm a professional sax player. Mm-hmm. I do about 60 to 70 weddings a year professionally. It took me a long time to get to that point. It's the same thing, the journey that you take with your job and with digital marketing. I've been working in the digital marketing, in this arena for about 10 years now. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to understand it better every day, every time I work on it. So it's the same idea. So I appreciate that. Yeah. What was the first business model with internet marketing?
So the first one was something called affiliate marketing. I don't know how much you've gone over affiliate marketing.
Have you guys heard about affiliate marketing?
Yes. Anybody tried it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I'm also big into fitness. Always have been, and so I had started a blog, an affiliate marketing blog, that was fitness based, and that was the first business model. Reviewing products, but also it had become a passion of mine to help people with knowledge about, okay, so, we know these are the top 10 great foods. Well, why are they good for you? And breaking it down, really just using it as an education tool. I guess that's the educator part of me. Mm-hmm. I've always found it for myself, don't just tell me what, tell me why.
Okay.
And so that was really, other than, of course, I wanted to make some money.
Yeah,
but
of course. Yeah.
Like
that was the why, part of the why.
Yeah, part of the why. But, the biggest part is seeing, okay, there are these people who they're out there and they don't necessarily explain, well, let's break this down and say, okay, what about this is going to help me and why is it exactly? So that was the reason behind what I was wanting to do there.
Okay.
More the education piece of it.
Okay. And what was the product that you started to market?
So it started out as basically, I wanted to show people that, and it hit at a really interesting time because it was mostly during the beginning of the pandemic, and as we all know, everybody was stuck inside. Gyms were closed, and so the business model was, because I always thought growing up you had to spend tons and tons of money to have fitness equipment, have your own home gym. And as I was researching, I was like, you know what, you can do a lot for a very little amount. And especially with people being out of work, it's but still wanting to maintain their health. The website was called Get Fit on a Budget. Okay. And so it was about helping people and connecting people to various products that were going to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle while they were at home without breaking their bank.
Breaking the bank, because a gym membership alone can
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's
Equipment.
I don't know if anybody's a member of a gym, knows anybody a member of a gym, but what I have found, so like my brother was a member of a gym and maybe went there once a month and was spending $30 a month to
Yeah.
go once. And so many gym memberships I found were just wasted because you've got to get up, you've got to drive. And for me, with 3 kids, to say, "See ya, honey, I'm going out," like I'm going to the gym, it just
It's
wasn't.
not realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good for the family when
Yeah.
you're leaving.
And the other part of it was for me, like, okay, I could go to the gym, I could work out, and my kids could see me leaving, or I could be present, again, going back to that wanting to be present, but also they can see me doing something healthy, realize, hey, Dad's working on himself, he's working on his health, and that's important. And it's a model for the kids. Everything you do as a parent is a model for your kids.
Absolutely. Students, any questions? Can anyone think of any questions to ask? And it's okay if you don't right now, because I have a whole bunch of questions. I just don't want to take.
How long did it take you to like really, get going?
What was really helpful, I went through a website that had a lot of training. It was called Wealthy Affiliate. Did a lot of research, made sure it was legit, because there are a lot of things out there that are not something you want to get involved in. Basically, they ask you for money and then you get no return.
Yeah.
And so that was very helpful because there was there was a lot of good training, and then there was a community of people that you could just at any point ask a question, and they were perfectly willing to help you out. It's not like we're competing. And I want to not give you information because I'm trying to just be for myself. It was very giving, and that was hugely important. So it probably took, for the website to be functioning, about a couple weeks to a month with all the training, because you kind of set it up as you went along.
Yeah.
But to really find what works takes some experimentation. And because not everything is going to work, not everything is going to hit with your audience, and it takes some time to figure out, okay, this article that I wrote, there's nobody commenting on it, so nobody cares. And so I realized, okay, let's shift focus to something else, and then you see what works and you start to really build with that.
It's very hard to, if you don't have the right direction or focus, it's very hard to make money with affiliate marketing. Did you make anything with
I did. I mean, I'm not a millionaire by any stretch, but no, it was starting to pick up, especially because, like I said, the pandemic, it was time where everybody was looking for things to do at home. What has kind of stalled it out was just going into personal life. We had our 3rd baby, and then my wife had a slew of health problems, and so it was a choice between continue to invest a lot of my time in this, or again, like I've got to take care of my family. And so
priorities.
it came at, when do health problems come at a good time?
Right.
But like it came at a time where I was building momentum, and then it kind of just was like, nope. and as frustrating as that is, I can still see, like, you know what, I'm good with that because I had a priority elsewhere. And
the Lord took you in a different direction at that. And I've been there too, and I've experimented with a lot of different business models online. I actually started with it was Wealthy Affiliate. That's how I got introduced to internet marketing, and it was like 10 years ago. And I subscribed to that. And, it was a little money, subscribing to that. But I was learning, and I didn't have a mentor, and I didn't have anyone. I was doing everything by myself, and that's why this class is the huge advantage of being in a class is we can grow together as a community. And that's why we have the content, and you have questions, and I bring people like Steve Halliwell in to share his experiences with internet marketing also. So I know where you're at now. Can you share with the class the business model that you're in now that you're really excited about?
So what I've done now, and it comes off of experience of what I went through with writing the blog, because I wanted everything to be well researched. Like, it would take a long time for me to put together an article. Now I got a lot quicker at it, but again, when you've got the chaos of 3 kids and you're trying to sit at home locked in a room, it doesn't always work. So what I had a couple of years ago, along the same time when I was researching, what could I possibly do to bring in some supplemental income? There's something called print on demand. Has anybody ever heard of that? I'm sure maybe you've discussed it. And so,
yeah, big time, by the way.
Big time.
Yeah, we have big time. So that's some of them here are. Go ahead.
Who's interested, or who has already started on it?
So 1,
Nice.
2, 3.
How have you been doing with it, if I might ask?
We're just getting it started.
Just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just building just the platforms.
Yeah.
Look at Facebook, social media accounts. So right now they're building the foundation for the business. And then our next step is going to be designing things. And I did want to ask you about that, but did you want to share a little bit about how you run your print-on-demand business?
Sure. So I just started probably about 2 months ago, and am already seeing sales of various products, which is exciting. You get an email, you're like, something sold. It's amazing.
Yeah. There's a testimony to that, and it works.
I'll take those $4. Sure, why not?
Yeah, right.
Like, again, when you're starting something, it's not unless you go viral, which is what everybody is trying to do. You're going to start slower, and it's going to be a build, and you're going to have to be patient. That's really hard for me because I am like poster boy for ADHD, and so I'm like, all right, here we go.
I think we all are. I'm too. So I think we have a little bit of that. But yeah,
patience with me can be a little bit of a hard thing, but it's being willing to. I think for me, setting yourself a schedule and sticking to it, and finding a niche that works for you. That's hugely important. But the main reason in getting into it was because of, again, family obligations, health issues, 3 things. I wanted to still be able to bring in extra income, but do it in a way where the entire day wasn't completely monopolized by, hey, I'm writing this article and I want it to be perfect, because I'm also a perfectionist, which sucks me trying to put out content, because when you're a perfectionist and you want it and you need to put out content after content, it's like it slows it down to a grinding halt.
Right.
And that's not to say that you don't want your stuff to be quality, but you want to be able to make it efficient so that you're not, okay, this little pixel is out here, I can't publish this piece until that one is fixed. You got to find, like you're saying, tools that will help you to do that.
Right, and a lot of people will wait. And we had a guest speaker come in a few weeks back, and she's a power lifter, and she runs her business mainly online. She does the online tutorials and coaching, things like that. But she said it's about getting the content out there, being consistent with it, being persistent, and just engaging with your audience. But you have to get your stuff. You have to get your content out and not wait till it's perfect. So I know people who have been working on projects for years and they haven't released anything, whether it be a book or an album. It's just not perfect enough. And guess what? That time has passed. Then it goes. You forget about it, and then it's done. But just to get it out. But you're right. I think sometimes we spend too much time. Now, details are important.
Yes.
The details are important, and that's why we use certain softwares to kind of help us with that. But I want to open the floor again. Questions? Anyone? Yeah, thanks, Ben.
For your print on demand stuff, what do you make? Is it
So right
Question,
now,
Ben.
thank you. Right now I've got 2 stores. Originally it was 1 store, and I was like, I'm covering too much topic. I have to get more specific. So right now, the 1 store is more geared towards family friendly, more like baby, toddler, kid. Because one of the other things that occurred to me was, I could try and make like what's trendy, but what do I know? Right now I know kids because I've got 3 under the age of 10. So that is one of them. And the other one is, all right, I'm a worship leader. I'm really interested in, stuff that involves music, stuff that involves my faith. So the other one is a faith-based, where there's designs that either they're Bible verses, they're could be even lyrics
They're
from a song.
pretty cool shirts.
Oh,
Would you mind sharing your websites with us so they can go onto the sites and make sure that you say it loud enough? I just want to make sure the camera can hear your sites.
Sure. So the one that probably would be easiest to find stuff on is Redbubble.
Okay. And is there a link to that, or just look up your store on Redbubble?
Probably it would be the easiest to look up the store on Redbubble.
Okay.
Let me see if I can make sure
Yeah.
it's working.
Sure.
Because that whole search engine optimization sometimes is still a mystery to me. I don't know if it is to anybody else.
We're working on it.
So, of course it doesn't. Let's try and see.
What about the one creative chicken?
Sure.
That one.
Let me see if I can find it.
Are they both Redbubble sites, or is
They're
there?
Redbubble for
Okay.
both of them. Okay, so if you type in to the search bar, one creative chicken.
One creative chicken in the search bar of Redbubble.
And then
Is it one word?
add sticker, yeah.
Like this.
So if you click on that, you'll see the first design comes up is a weird looking cartoon chicken. And it's interesting how things come up because I've been drawing this particular cartoon character since high school, yeah.
It's like blocks on ours, but it looks cool.
Let me see.
Block for you.
Yeah, you got it? Chelsea?
Mr. Burst doesn't trust me.
Nick, are you manifesting bad energy
What?
onto my laptop?
I don't know. Okay. Redbubble.com, you're on. So when you search, you can get on it?
So then if you,
I can search for it once I just click on that account. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right, but you can see it.
Yeah,
right?
I see it.
All right.
so then if you click then on the username, it should take you to the general shop. And right now there's a lot of different stuff on there. You'll notice that there's some
like that one. Yep.
there's some adult,
Weird.
not adult ones,
It's pretty
but
Yeah.
not just stuff for babies, and that's the remnants of, hey, when this was still just focused on, let me just get designs out there. But that was the first one, again, it's based on a little cartoon character I've been drawing since high school.
Oh, that's it right there?
Yeah, that's it.
It's cool.
And so, really like, now I'm more exclusively creating stuff for, like I said, babies, kids, that type of thing.
Steve has these really cool designs where the words they're backwards.
Yes.
And I like that. I have to pick up a couple of those shirts where the words are, like if you were looking to look into a mirror, then they would appear forwards. Really, really cool
And
ideas.
that idea, and again, like one of the ways you get ideas for stuff is look around. Just look around. What are people wearing? What seems to be a trend, and how can you then make that your own?
Yeah.
So this actually, again, because I'm into fitness, I don't know if anybody's seen on YouTube, buff dudes. They're kind of like, they make funny videos, but also informative. And one of their things was a shirt that had backwards lettering. It's Yatsfub, which is just stay buff if you look in a thing. And if you know anything about people who go to a gym, they're looking in a mirror a lot.
Right. Oh yes. Yeah. That's all they do.
So one of the ideas that I came up with was to do a backwards shirt, but it says stay focused instead, because, you know, I've seen people in the gym just kind of like not lifting any weights, they're just looking at themselves.
Yeah.
So
Guilty. No, I'm just kidding.
that's okay. I won't judge you.
No, it's okay. Appreciate it. Okay, so you have the two, and they're on Redbubble. Have you registered your own domain yet?
I have not gotten to that point yet.
Okay. No problem. Do you have any questions, guys? Anything? Okay. No. All right.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you have like multiple accounts for like different like gym stuff is separate than like child?
Yeah,
stuff?
and that's kind of a discovery that, as I've done more research, like, if you want to get into a certain market, like say, just for example, fitness, like even that's really broad. So like if you really narrowing it down, you want to have one shop for one thing. And
So like a niche.
Yeah,
We've
a
been
niche,
talking
yeah.
heavily about
Yeah, niche.
niches. Okay.
And you want to target a specific audience with that niche. Like I said, fitness is huge. You can type that into anywhere and you'll get 8 billion results.
Right.
So one of the things that I saw a lot of people when I was writing the blog, they would do fitness, but fitness in your 60s. And
Yep.
they would write all about people maintaining their fitness in their 60s. And that narrows it down a lot more. So if you can narrow it down towards a very specific group, there's enough people in that group probably. I mean, there's
Yeah.
millions of people in their 60s. Just for example, there's enough people in that group that can give you a steady stream of viewership.
And how can you niche that even more? I'm asking you guys, how can you niche that even more? So you can niche it by going like women in their 60s, and you know, you can totally niche a niche, and that's what Steve's been doing, and that's why he's been seeing some success. And on his Redbubble, he has 2 separate accounts. I wanted to ask you about paid advertising.
Paid advertising. So because I'm working with a very small budget, one of the main things that attracted me to this was there's very little overhead cost. And right now, my wife is on maternity leave. She's not working because of both medical issues and we just had a kid.
Yeah.
And so, that's a whole income that has been lost for a certain period of time. So what attracted me was the low overhead starting up cost. And
Specifically on Redbubble.
Yeah,
And why is that? We've talked about this, but can you just confirm why you use Redbubble?
so one of the reasons I use Redbubble is because you can upload your designs. You don't have to pay anything. Like if you have an Etsy shop, you have to pay a certain amount of money to keep your product up on Etsy, whether it's a t-shirt. Jake Minima, I don't know how you
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, you know Jake.
He's got a calligraphy pen business, and he does on Etsy, and one of the things he has to do is he has to pay money to keep his products up on Etsy. And so for me, that wasn't really an option, only having one income. And
Okay.
so one of the best things was I could upload my designs, I could start to sell, and I don't have to pay something to keep it up on a shop. I don't have to pay a certain amount of money to even advertise on Redbubble, because they will advertise for you.
What's the word? Do you guys know the word that we talked about? Organic traffic. Organic traffic, right? So that's what it is. You're getting organic traffic. So people are just organically going to the site to search for things in a particular niche, and then Steve's shirts are popping up.
So, and that's, organic traffic is free. And if you can get the majority of your traffic, if not all of it, through organic searches, that is going to save you a bunch of money and make sure that your profit margin is even bigger. Because, I just sold, I think one of the designs sold on a hat and a sticker.
Yep. Those are big.
And the feeling you get like, wow, I didn't pay a dime for them to find that, and they found it and they bought it. So it's like, oh, good. Now
Yeah.
I'm not spending money to get some money. I am just putting up a design. Somebody found it, and I'm getting income because of that. That's a good feeling.
What is that called? Evergreen, when things are evergreen?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just things that people are always going to search for.
Mhm.
So we had a deposit in our bank account of $50 last month
Mhm.
from Redbubble.
Yeah.
Because people are buying stickers and hats and what else are they buying? T-shirts.
Mhm.
But the work is already done, so
Yeah.
it becomes residual passive income.
And that's the base, that is finding ways to get yourself passive income, because while you're working on new designs, people are finding your old ones that you haven't even looked at maybe
Yeah.
in months, and you're still gaining income from them while you're creating new content. And so I don't want to say there's no work involved, but the less work you have to do to get the money allows you to focus on creating new content. So if you can get stuff that is evergreen, that people are always going to be looking for, that's really going to be helpful to your business.
Cool, and I definitely have another question for you. I'm going to open the floor. Anything I don't want to, okay, that's fine. Now, how soon, I see that you have 62 designs so far. How soon did you start earning income with your designs? Like how many designs did it take before you started earning something?
So for me, it took about probably a month.
And how many designs was that?
Well, at one point I was trying to put out a design every day.
Okay.
And so it was probably about after 30 or so designs that I got my first hit, and I was like, this is great. and again, ADHD, it's just going to start coming all the time now. No.
Yeah.
Again, certain designs hit, certain designs
I was
don't.
going to say, it's about the content or the quality of the design as well. I noticed a lot of your shirts are text. Are most of them text? Do you have any images on your designs?
Yes. So there are a lot that have text, because as I was doing research, a lot of what people are buying are shirts, merchandise with text on it. But the one thing I would stress is, if you're going to put text, it has to make sense on that particular design.
In that niche, if it's
in
a
that
niche
niche,
too. So.
in that niche, in that particular design,
Yeah.
So you've got to be, in my experience, you have to be selective about what you put on what product. So if I'm going to do something with a Bible verse, or if I'm going to do something that has text, I'm not going to put it on a hat because it's tiny, and so nobody's going to really look at that and take the time to stare at your forehead while they read a long piece of text.
Right, which I had noticed about some of the designs that you guys had put up on Redbubble. They have to be adjusted size-wise, because some of them were so small, like on a t-shirt, and you also have to consider the type of products you're going to put them on too. Whether it's going to go on a cell phone case or a hat or a t-shirt. You might make a little like rubber duck or something, but if you put it on a t-shirt, it's going to be this big. It might look fine on a cell phone case, so I think that's something that they would have to consider too, the products that they want to put them on.
The product doesn't fit.
Yeah, and Redbubble, as I told some of you here in class, that Redbubble is a fantastic place to start, but ultimately I think they'd want to get onto, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe get onto like a Printful or a Teespring or a Spring.
Yeah.
Because
what I've noticed with especially Teespring, like if you go to Teespring's website, one of the things that was very frustrating in the beginning is there is no search bar. Like, so organic traffic doesn't necessarily happen. You have to work to promote. What I've noticed is a lot of people who are on Teespring, they have a popular YouTube channel that they link their Teespring account.
Exactly.
So if you're a YouTuber and you've got 6 million subscribers, and that little link is on, you're probably making bank, because if you wear it in your video and people are like, wow, that's really cool. Like, there's this one guy who, I don't know why I got into watching this, but he sits down and he does food challenges. Anybody ever watch a food challenge video? It's disgusting, but I can't stop watching.
What's up, Landon?
That's still
Matt Stoney. There's another guy, Eric Electric. He does so. But basically, he'll sit down with 30,000 calories of food on his table, and in one go try to eat all of it. And while he's doing it, like he has a carb challenge, and then while he's doing it, he's wearing this thing this shirt that has a piece of pizza on it and a pizza card. This is how I cut my carbs.
So it's marketing.
Yeah,
It's marketing, and that's where, and we're actually running out of time. We only have maybe 2 more minutes, but your profits are much higher on a Printful and Teespring, much higher. So our profits on Printful, because with our print-on-demand business, we make between $5 and $8 a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
On Redbubble, you're only making maybe 2 or 3. So
Right.
it depends on that. We have to wrap this up, but I just want to ask you if you have advice for them. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but do you have advice for our entrepreneurs here, our teen entrepreneurs?
Be patient, because I feel like a lot of society says you should get it now and you should do it and it should be successful right away. That's not always the case. Like if you hit it big, great. I'm so happy for you. I'll just look at you and your millions and say, good job. Can you help me out?
Yeah, right.
But it takes work. It's a long road, but the patience does pay off in the end. And so stick with it. I will be praying that you find the design that sells billions of t-shirts.
And they're doing, thank you so much for that advice, and they're doing different businesses, but we have some print on demand, but
Yes.
I think ultimately print on demand is a great place to start for internet marketing, and that's what we kind of started with that. But Steve, thank you so much for coming today. Really appreciate you being here, and I hope you guys got a lot out of this. And next class, I'm going to ask you what you got out of it. Your takeaway. Fair enough? So that's your homework. I'd like to hear your takeaway from Steve's presentation and Steve's this round table or square table discussion that we had today. All right. So thank you, Steve.